The greatest shooter of all time. The league's all-time leading scorer. A former MVP on the comeback trail. A couple 2 times finals MVPs, 2 reigning champs, and the upcoming face of the league. Surrounding them are all superstar role players who know their place among these legends. The 2024 team might go down as the deepest, most talented Olympic basketball team the world has ever seen. Could they even be better than the 1992 Dream Team? You be the judge. Looking back historically, the Dream Team is in a league of its own. This year, the players have combined for 84 All-Star games, 56 All-NBA selections, 8 MVPs, and 16 titles. Plus another 13 titles from the coaching staff. Just in terms of star power, that's unbelievable. Head and shoulders above the last 2 all-time teams. This Olympic team feels a lot like the 08 Redeem Team, after Team USA got embarrassed in the previous Olympics. Remember how last summer went for Team USA? That Redeem Team was led by a young D-Wade, LeBron, CP3, and a mid-prime Kobe. At that point in their careers, they had 38 All-Star games played, half of this year's team. The 2012 team got some insane Dream Team comparisons, and even they only had 43 All-Star games played. The 2024 Olympic team blows all other teams out of the water except the 92 team. Now, they had few All-Star games played, but they had 61 All-NBA selections, 5 more than this year's, despite the fact that the league only had a first and second team until 1989. They also had 9 MVP awards, and Jordan hadn't even reached his peak yet. What those numbers say is that this year's team is at least statistically as good as the greatest team that the world has ever seen. But will they be as good on the court? As we get further and further from the 20th century, we forget how insane this team was, both in terms of on-court production and global impact. Now remember, this wasn't just the best Olympic team of all time, this was the first Olympic team that was allowed to use professionals. The league wasn't a global sport yet. Outside of a few guys, most of the league's superstars were American-born. The Dream Team opened the NBA to the rest of the world, partially due to young superstars like Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, side by side with legends like Bird and Magic. The league is an international one today because kids watched that Dream Team. Kids like Dirk Nowitzki and Peja Stojakovic. Of course, none of it would have mattered if the team weren't dominant. The Dream Team won the gold with an 8-0 record, with an average win margin of 43.8. They won their average game by 44 points. Their closest game, using that term loosely, was the gold medal rout of Croatia, a 117-85 blowout against NBAers Drazen Petrovic, Dino Radja, and Toni Kukoc. Charles Barkley was the best player in the tournament, but we'll get to him in a second. The important thing is that no team has matched that level of dominance. And honestly, with the way the rest of the world is catching up, no team ever will. The closest average margin of victory to reach that Dream Team mark was the 2012 team, winning by 32.1 a game. That's almost 12 points less, not even close. And it's only gone down from there, cresting with a 2023 FIBA team that didn't even win bronze, the second straight time that's happened. So why is that? Why is USA basketball falling down the drain? 2 big reasons. First off, the rest of the world is just better. The last time an American-born player has won NBA MVP was all the way back in 2018. Pretty much everybody's top 5 right now includes 5 foreign-born players. Though lucky us, Embiid is a US citizen who gets to play for Team USA. That is, if he's healthy. The downside of the international dominance in the 1990s was that the rest of the world started to pick up a basketball. Guys like the late Bob Lanier fought to spread the NBA's reach to every other country on the planet, which definitely makes the league more fun, and it's great that the sport has gone global, but it also makes the Olympics that much harder. This year saw a record high of international players on NBA rosters with 125 on opening night. But the vast majority of players are still from the United States. Even if Giannis, Jokic, SGA, and Luka are not on Team USA, it's not like they're playing on the same Olympic team. So why has USA's international dominance been slipping? Because of reason number 2, Paul George's leg. During a scrimmage for the 2014 FIBA team, Paul George shattered his right leg. He missed the entire next season. Was it worth it to suffer missing an entire year, going through rehab, and struggling when he finally did come back to the Pacers a year later, just to put up buckets for his country? That FIBA team had young superstars like James Harden, Anthony Davis, and Steph Curry, along with PG. FIBA has always brought out fewer stars than the Olympics, but those are at least all NBA guys, and they won the gold that year. The following FIBA team in 2019, the first one post Paul George, had none of the star power. Sure, there were a few young guys with potential like Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum, but there were only 2 guys that had ever been all-stars to that point, Kemba Walker and Brook Lopez, and Kemba was the only All-NBA member. In last year's FIBA team, there wasn't a single player who had been named to an All-NBA team to that point. Again, FIBA hasn't ever brought out stars like the Olympics have, but that's still embarrassing. And looking at the last Olympics team, it looks like the lack of commitment was spreading. There were a few big names like KD, Tatum, Lillard, Draymond, Booker, but Jeremy Grant, Keldon Johnson, Zach LaVine, JaVale McGee? That's the best of the best? The dudes that the US trots out to reassert dominance on the sport? After last year's embarrassing Team USA loss to Canada in OT, falling short of even a bronze, US sprinter Noah Lyles poked fun at the NBA stars.
You know, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
Now, was he trying to motivate NBA stars to come represent their country in Paris this year? If so, it worked. At that moment, we all knew that the best of the best were going to be flying out to Paris to bring the gold medal back to the United States. The current 12-player roster includes LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Bam Adebayo, and Tyrese Halliburton. Those are pretty much the best Americans in the league right now, right? At least positionally. Is somebody missing? Let us know in the comments. The 2 names that stand out are Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard. Those 2, honestly, should not play. Embiid missed half of last season, and Kawhi's injury in the playoffs kept him from competing the way they'd hoped. They should stay home and get healthy. If that's the case, who replaces them? The team already has a lot of guard depth, but it seems almost disrespectful to leave Jalen Brunson off. Sort of like no Isaiah Thomas in 1992, but without the toxicity. Without Embiid, the team needs a little more size, so who replaces him? Yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr., who was on last year's FIBA team, or Walker Kessler. Do they go with Paolo? Between France, Canada, Serbia, Germany, Greece, and Slovenia, there is a lot of competition for the gold. But right now, the US team is a resounding betting favorite. Minus 400 odds compared to Canada at plus 900 and reigning FIBA champ Germany at plus 1900. This is a team full of vets who know how to fit their style of play to work well within a team, something that last year's young, talented players didn't have. But this is also the time for one guy to show out. In the 1992 Olympics, Charles Barkley was, by far, the best player on the team. He led the US with 18 points per game, shooting 71% from the floor. The next year, he won MVP and made it to his first finals. On the 2008 Redeem team, Dwayne Wade was the leading scorer off the bench, despite being 6th in minutes per game. The following year, he became the only player to ever average 30 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, and 7 assists per game in an all-time season.
With 6. Not a good matchup right here for the Heat.
Thomas, Wade with a steal, with 2. Wade puts it up for the win. Yeah, baby! He did it! He did it! Dwayne Wade with the steal and the game winner!
Who is the guy that will take the leap during these Olympics, becoming a top-tier player next season? Now, the obvious answer is Anthony Edwards. But does he have it in him to dominate on a team that features LeBron James, Steph Curry, and KD, Team USA's all-time leading scorer? More importantly than that, will Team USA roll through the competition this summer, or has the rest of the world really caught up? Let us know in the comments, then watch one of these videos next. Listen to the Wrong Opinion, Useless NBA Trivia, and Garbage Rankings for more NBA content.